Commander Jack Rivers sat quietly on the bridge of the human battleship Vigilant. The stars stretched endlessly outside, calm and silent. For a moment, it seemed like any ordinary patrol in the uncharted sector of the galaxy, but the calm did not last. Sensors on the bridge started flashing. An energy spike, massive and powerful, appeared on long-range scanners. It was not a human ship. They hadn't built anything like it. The spike was strange, old, and brimming with untapped energy. "Sir, you need to see this," Lieutenant Mara said, pointing at the main display. Jack leaned forward, studying the readings. "Impossible. That much energy. It's moving toward the Andara cluster." Across the sector, an alien fleet had already detected the same anomaly. They were seasoned veterans of countless wars. Hundreds of ships, armed with the latest weapons, moved in perfect formation. Every commander believed they understood war. Every system believed the humans were weak. And then, without warning, a human battleship appeared out of hyperspace. The alien fleet froze. Not one ship moved. Energy readings spiked further as the Vigilant drifted calmly into sensor range. Its hull was sleek and massive, lined with advanced weaponry and glowing energy conduits. It was unlike any ship the aliens had ever seen. Jack leaned back in his chair, calm as ever. "Looks like they noticed us, sir." "They're frozen," Mara stammered. "Not a single ship is responding." Jack smiled faintly. "Good. Let's let them think we're just another ship. Then surprise them." The alien fleet began to panic silently. Commanders shouted orders in multiple languages. Fleets attempted flanking maneuvers, but hesitation spread. No one dared make the first move. Their centuries of war experience suddenly seemed useless. Jack walked across the bridge casually, hands behind his back. He didn't feel fear. Humans had a way of staying calm under pressure. That calm alone was a weapon. "Status report," he said to Mara. "All systems stable, Captain. Weapons online. Shields at full power. Alien fleet." "Still frozen," she replied. Jack nodded. "Excellent. Let's see how they react when we move." The Vigilant shifted slightly, engines humming softly. Its shields flared, creating a shimmering barrier around the massive hull. Alien sensors scrambled, unable to read the ship's power or predict its movements. One destroyer tried to fire, but its targeting system went haywire. Another ship collided with a cruiser while trying to maneuver around the human battleship. Jack watched with a faint smile. Sometimes it's not about firing first. It's about being unpredictable. Even from a distance, alien fleets were starting to understand the danger. Humans were not like other species. They were clever, adaptive, and fearless. And this one human, Captain Jack Rivers, was about to show them just how dangerous that combination could be. "Prepare all sensors," Jack said. "Let's see what they're really thinking." The alien fleet's admirals whispered in disbelief. It's a human battleship." Jack Rivers leaned back in his chair, relaxed, casual, as if commanding a shuttle instead of the most advanced human warship ever built. The galaxy had thought it understood war. It was about to learn it had been wrong. The first move had been made. The aliens froze, unsure whether to attack, flee, or surrender. And in that silence, one truth became clear. Humans were unpredictable, intelligent, and dangerous beyond expectation. The war had not started, but it had already begun. Jack Rivers sat calmly in the captain's chair of the human battleship Vigilant. Outside, the alien fleet hovered like a frozen storm, hundreds of ships, armed and deadly, yet none dared to fire. The entire formation was paralyzed by the presence of a single human warship. "Sir." "They're still not moving," Lieutenant Mara said, her voice tight with awe. Jack leaned back, fingers steepled. "Good. Let them adjust to reality. Sometimes, calmness is stronger than weapons. The bridge hummed with soft energy as systems activated. Shields glowed, engines thrummed, and targeting sensors scanned the alien fleet without threat. The Vigilant moved slowly and deliberately, its immense hull cutting through the starfield. Across the bridge, every human crew member worked with quiet precision. They followed orders without hesitation, every movement synchronized. The aliens had trained for wars, studied tactics for centuries, but they had never faced humans acting like this. Calm, collected, confident. An alien commander barked orders. Fire! Surround it! No one moved. Every ship paused mid-action. Targeting systems scrambled. Communications faltered. The human battleship had disrupted their coordination without firing a single shot. Jack smiled faintly. See? They think they understand war. But they don't. The Vigilant adjusted its position slowly, engines humming. Energy shields flared to full power. Alien sensors tried to lock on, but their readings fluctuated wildly. One squadron attempted a flanking maneuver. The human ship shifted slightly, just enough to make the move fail. The squadron veered off course and collided with a smaller cruiser. Status? Jack asked casually. All systems stable. Alien fleet. Confused? They're arguing with each other, Mara replied. Jack chuckled softly. Exactly as planned. Let them fight their own fear before we even strike. The aliens whispered among themselves, though no human could hear. They do not fear. Yet we are frozen. They are too calm, unbelievable. This is impossible. Jack walked across the bridge, inspecting the crew. Humans survive by staying calm in chaos, he said softly. And this is chaos they've never seen. A small group of alien scouts tried to approach. Their sensors lit up as if warning of danger. Jack tapped a few buttons. The human warship responded instantly. Shields shifted, energy flowed along the hull, and the alien scouts were forced to retreat. No shots fired, no explosions, yet their fear was absolute. Jack sat back in his chair, sipping a cup of coffee. Not bad for a first impression, he said lightly. The alien commanders continued to panic, sending conflicting orders. Squadrons turned back, others halted mid-flight. The entire fleet began to fracture under the weight of uncertainty. Humans fought differently. Humans adapted. Humans were unpredictable, and one human captain, calm and collected, was about to demonstrate just how dangerous that combination could be. Jack Rivers smiled faintly. Let's see how long it takes them to figure out what humans are capable of. For the first time, the galaxy realized that a calm human crew aboard a battleship of unmatched power could dominate an entire alien fleet without a single shot fired. The first lesson was clear. Humans were not just another species in space. They were a force the galaxy had to respect and fear. Jack Rivers watched the alien fleet with quiet intensity. Hundreds of ships, all armed and deadly, hung frozen in space. Not a single shot had been fired yet. And yet, the Vigilant had already won the first battle. Sir. They're trying to regroup, Lieutenant Mara said, her voice tense. But they can't seem to coordinate. Jack leaned back in his chair, calm as ever. Good. Let them think they are safe. Now we'll show them power. He tapped a few controls on the console. Lights along the hull of the Vigilant flickered and pulsed. Energy shields expanded outward like a living barrier, wrapping the ship in an almost invisible glow. Alien targeting systems immediately went haywire. Missiles, plasma beams, and energy bolts bounced harmlessly off the adaptive shields. Across the alien fleet, chaos spread. Ships collided, formation broke, and commanders shouted at one another. Their centuries of war training meant nothing against this human technology. One destroyer fired a cannon, only to see the energy redirected harmlessly. Another frigate misfired its torpedoes into empty space. Jack smiled faintly. "They think strength is enough," he murmured. "They'll learn soon that brains and calmness matter more." The vigilant sensors scanned the enemy fleet. Weak points appeared on the tactical display. Shields, engines, weapons all revealed vulnerabilities that humans could exploit. And yet, Jack did not strike immediately. Instead, he moved the ship slightly, shifting its massive hull with precision. Alien sensors scrambled, unable to predict the ship's movements. One squadron tried a flanking maneuver. The Vigilant shifted again. The squadron collided with another, causing panic to ripple through the fleet. "Status report," Jack said casually. "All systems stable, Captain." Alien fleet. Confused and panicked. "They're making mistakes without even attacking," Mara replied. Jack chuckled softly. "Exactly. Fear can be more powerful than weapons." The alien admirals whispered among themselves. They are not like other species. Their technology. They're calm. It's unreal. One human ship, and our entire fleet is falling apart." Jack leaned forward, tapping more controls. Energy weapons powered up silently. Shields readied for attack, but he did not fire. He didn't need to. The Vigilant's presence alone was more than enough to dominate the battlefield. A few alien scouts tried to probe closer. The Vigilant sensors detected them instantly. Shields shifted, energy pulses flared, and the scouts retreated without firing. Not a shot had been fired, yet the aliens already feared for their lives. Jack Rivers smiled faintly. Sometimes, showing power is better than using it. The human battleship had achieved the impossible. It had frozen an entire alien fleet, disrupted their formation, neutralized their attacks, and revealed their weaknesses, all without firing a single shot. The aliens were learning a terrifying lesson. Raw numbers, centuries of tactics, and powerful weapons were useless against unpredictability, calm strategy, and human ingenuity. Jack leaned back, relaxed, as if he were commanding a shuttle instead of the galaxy's most advanced human warship. "Let's see how they handle the next move," he said softly. And for the first time, the galaxy realized something frightening. Humans did not fight like others. They adapted. They planned. They stayed calm, and when they had a battleship like the Vigilant, even the most experienced alien fleets could be rendered helpless. The war had begun, but the humans were already winning. Jack Rivers leaned back in his captain's chair, calm and collected. The alien fleet was still frozen in confusion. Hundreds of ships, some larger than planets, were struggling to understand how a single human battleship could dominate without firing a single shot. "Status report," Jack said casually. Lieutenant Mara responded, "All systems stable, Captain. Shields are full. Weapons ready. Alien fleet. Formation is breaking apart." Jack smiled faintly. "Perfect. Let's show them the real difference humans make." The Vigilant moved slowly, adjusting its position with precision. Its energy shields flared subtly, sensors shifted, and targeting systems analyzed every alien vessel. Every move seemed small, casual, almost lazy, but each action disrupted the alien fleet. One group of alien cruisers attempted to flank from the left. Jack's ship anticipated the move instantly. Shields adapted. Energy pulses deflected their attacks. The flanking ships collided with one another in confusion, causing chaos in the ranks. "Sir." "They're arguing among themselves," Mara said, her voice tight with excitement. Jack nodded. "Good. Confusion is the first step to control." The human battleship moved like a single organism. Every turret, every shield, Every sensor responded to Jack's commands instantly. Nearby human colonies were scanned and their positions secured, ensuring safety without unnecessary fighting. The aliens tried to adjust. Smaller ships fired weapons. Medium cruisers attempted maneuvers. Large battleships prepared their main cannons. All failed. Shields adapted. Engines moved. Energy pulses neutralized attacks. The human ship had become more than a battleship. It was a force of precision, intelligence, and calm authority. Jack spoke quietly to his crew. Patience. Intelligence wins more battles than raw power. Let them make mistakes. They already have. A fleet of alien scouts tried one last risky approach. The Vigilant shifted slightly, positioning shields to block all possible attacks. The scouts had no choice but to retreat. Not a single human weapon fired, and yet the aliens felt the full weight of defeat. Across the galaxy, commanders whispered, "They do not fight like us. They are unpredictable, clever, and fearless. One human ship, and our entire fleet is collapsing." Jack sipped his coffee, relaxed. Humans survive because we think, adapt, and stay calm. And that terrifies them. Alien ships tried to regroup, but confusion spread faster than their orders. Hundreds of ships collided, fired at empty space, or retreated without reason. The human battleship had rewritten the rules of engagement. Raw strength was useless against intelligence, precision, and adaptability. Jack tapped a few controls lightly. "Prepare to disengage in 5 minutes. We've taught them enough for today." The Vigilant began a slow withdrawal, moving toward human-controlled space. Alien fleets, shaken and broken, could only watch. One truth was undeniable. Humans fought differently. Humans fought smart. Humans fought calm, and the galaxy would never forget it. Jack Rivers leaned back in his chair, satisfied. They'll remember today. One human ship, one calm captain, and an entire fleet didn't know what hit them. The human strategy had succeeded. Intelligence, patience, and calm authority had conquered without destruction. And the legend of humans in the galaxy was growing. The alien fleet had finally scattered. Confused, panicked, humiliated. Jack Rivers leaned back in his captain's chair on the human battleship Vigilant, calm as ever. His crew moved with quiet precision, shields adjusted automatically, and energy systems hummed softly under the stars. Not a single shot had been fired today, yet the galaxy had already learned a dangerous lesson. "Status report," Jack said casually. Lieutenant Mara replied, "All systems stable, Captain." Alien fleet retreated. Confusion and fear remain. They don't know what just happened. Jack smiled faintly. Good. That's enough for one day. Let them remember who they're dealing with. The galaxy would not forget. Stories spread quickly among alien species. A single human battleship had frozen entire fleets, disrupted formations, and neutralized attacks without firing a single shot. The legends of humans being weak, insignificant, and easy to defeat were shattered in mere hours. They are not like us," whispered one alien commander to another. "They are clever, calm, and fearless. One ship, commanded by one human. And our entire fleet is broken." Jack Rivers sipped his drink casually, surveying the stars ahead. Humans did not need to rely on brute force. Strategy, intelligence, patience, and calm authority were weapons stronger than any cannon or missile. The human warship had done what no alien fleet had ever seen. It dominated without aggression, controlled the battlefield without destruction, and instilled fear simply through presence and precision. Across the galaxy, fleets began to reconsider everything they thought they knew about humans. No longer were they a minor species to be ignored. Humans were unpredictable, Humans were adaptive. Humans were dangerous. The Vigilant drifted smoothly through space, retreating to friendly sectors. Nearby human colonies were untouched, perfectly defended by the presence of one ship and one calm captain. The aliens could only watch, humbled and terrified. Jack leaned back, quiet, as if observing a simple star field instead of having just reshaped the balance of power in the galaxy. "They'll remember this," he said softly. "Not just for the battle, but for the way we fight. Calm, smart, unstoppable." Whispers of humans' capabilities spread quickly. They do not fight like anyone else. They adapt faster, think smarter, and remain calm under pressure. They are unpredictable, dangerous, unstoppable. Legends would be written about the day one human Battleship entered an alien fleet and emerged victorious without firing a single shot. Stories would be told for generations, not about explosions or destruction, but about intelligence, strategy, and calm courage. Jack Rivers smiled faintly. The Vigilant hummed softly beneath him, a perfect blend of human ingenuity and technology. Together, they had proven a simple truth. Humans were not to be underestimated. The galaxy had believed it, understood it was wrong, and from this day forward, every alien species would think twice before underestimating humans. Jack leaned back, relaxed, sipping his drink. "Just another day in space," he said. The human battleship had not just survived. It had dominated, and it had changed the galaxy forever.